There are so many things I want to talk about. First of all, the UN resolution about acknowledging that the transatlantic slave trade was the biggest crime against humankind, bar none. It's about time. That's something that I'm definitely going to have to write about. But I'm also on day 6 of the Giselle Baumet New Money Imprint Challenge. So I'm going to talk about that too. But I'm actually writing about that, but I'm going to talk about that. And I've just read a couple of articles by one writer that I know, that I've known pretty much all my life. Oh, she's known me all my life. Where she's talking about having lost her job. And no, actually, she was specifically talking about that couple at the Coldplay concert and how that woman got lambasted and dragged through the media, whereas the man, I mean, he just escaped unscathed from the whole debacle. But I never heard the story from the woman's perspective, so that was an eye-opener. But at the end of the story, the writer says that, she also lost a job, and as a Black woman, she's going to have to hustle like her mother before her and her grandmother. Now, I never met her grandmother, but I do know her mother quite well. And on this new money imprint challenge that I'm on, it's actually about creating wealth from ease, from the frequency of money, which is total relaxation. It's ease. It is, I think it's blissful. I mean, that's what I'm realizing. But it's also kind of, on the one hand, yes, I'm listening to this meditation. It's a guided meditation every day. And I'm, listening to Giselle talk about money and the nature of money, the identity of money. And this is all quite new for me. So this is my second 21-day challenge with her. But it is blowing my mind, because there are things that I knew intellectually that, money is energy, money is all around us. It's like the air that we breathe, that money is an abundance. Like I've known that since at least my, I won't say which decade, but I've known that for at least 15, let's say 15 years. I've known that intellectually. And especially having worked in central London, yes, it's dingy and nasty and run down, but there is a lot of wealth there are wealthy people, like in the city of London, where I did an internship when I was still at university. And I'm aware of the wealth, right? Because I studied at Oxford University, but before that, I went to boarding school. So I was surrounded by wealthy people. They weren't all wealthy, but, some of them were landed gentry, some of them were like nouveau riche, the whole thing. So wealth and being surrounded by wealth and opportunity and possibilities is not new to me. But in this meditation, she's literally saying, I am money. But it's taken me so intellectually I've known it, but for it to become an embodied reality has taken time. So because I have been locked in a cycle of fight, flight, freeze, and fawn in this cycle, I want to say for at least a couple of years. I only broke out of it last year. And this was in spite of having therapy and meditating, trying to meditate my way out of trauma that is stored in my physical body. It's been wild. And I've been doing abundance, like sound frequency meditation. Last summer, I added, activations into the mix. And that is when I was able to, for the first time, create an ebook. I mean, I know I have several books inside of me, and this is it. When I'm listening to the meditation now and she's saying, I'm money, and I'm breathing in money the way that, no, that I am money and that I am a source of wealth, right? I'm a source of wealth, and I decide how much wealth I can hold. I'm in control. I'm like, am I? And the meditation is about that. It's 39 minutes long. But I swear, every time I listen to it, and I try to listen to it first thing in the morning, when I'm still, I think, in alpha state, brainwave state, I swear I hear something different. And I don't know if it's because my mind wanders off, because you have to be, the very first thing that you do is you regulate your nervous system, and you go down a notch. You get to the frequency of money is actually total relaxation, right? And in that state, and because I do it when I'm lying down, I in the beginning I was trying to do it before going to sleep. Bad move, because I just conked out. I would like literally just, I was like comfortable, warm, well, a little bit chilly, but warm, snuggled up, and listening to Giselle tell me that I am money and that I need to relax, and that in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to drop into my body, but not drop out. It reminded me of what it used to be like when I first started taking yoga classes, and we would do the visualization at the end of the class. Oh my God, how many times did your girl just fall asleep? Because it wasn't just like, oh, we're going to lie down and do a visualization. No, 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 no. She would put on the blow heater, and we would lie flat. I can't remember the name of that pose. Lie flat, and then she'd cover us in blankets, and she'd say, oh, okay, well, picture yourself floating down a river. Well, I just knocked out. I was like, it was 8 p.m. by then, and I used to wake up really early and go to the gym like a nutcase. So my day would start really early, and if I was lying down around 8 p.m. and I was all toasty and warm and comfortable post yoga, and she's trying to tell me to visualize anything, it was a pointless, futile pursuit. But yeah, so on this challenge, we're on day 6, and I've had so many truth bombs come my way. So I never really understood when people would say, oh, but you're standing, especially the friends of mine who are like into psychology. And they've been telling me this since like my mid-20s. I'm like, oh, you're the one standing in your own way. And I was like, but how can I be standing in my own way? I am me. Like, this is all of me all at once. But I got it, because it really hit me. Like I'm doing 2 challenges simultaneously. So one is a 5-day challenge with Arlen Hamilton. And I realized that even though, intellectually, I would have told you, oh, I have no limiting beliefs around money. But I never tackled the impact of my parents' money story on me, and the impact it's had on me. And unfortunately, it hasn't been a good one. Their money story is very much tied to religion and not feeling worthy, etc., etc. I didn't want to go into it, but this is where I realized that the deconditioning on my part is not over. There are still things in my blind spot. So I've been doing the Arlen Hamilton's 5-day challenge, and I realized that I have disqualified myself from sharing what it is that I know and want to be known for, from a whole bunch of people who have no idea what I've been up to for the last 5 years. I think some of them don't even know that I left the UK 4.5 years ago, and that I am into nutritional therapy, but that my vision is way, way bigger than just nutritional therapy. And it's something that I want to, functional nutrition and eventually functional medicine is something that I want to bring to the African continent and diasporans now who are already outside of Africa, and also those who are in the emerging middle classes, the professional classes on the continent, men and women. because there are so many things that you can do to enhance your cognition and your performance. I have a really cool friend called Dr. Eva Plutianitska, and she actually supports PhDs and postdocs to get through their PhD and to get, to actually get the qualification, right? So she knows a lot about the psychological and the neuroscience aspect of, how to get the best bang for your buck when it comes to cognition, learning, working when your brain is at its best, how to rest your brain, how to get the best out of your work day and how to structure your day. So like the efficiency part of things. Whereas for me, I could say, get some MCT oil. But the thing about MCT oil is that in one person, it's great and they don't have any issues. And for other people, they take MCT oil and it gives them the runs. I'm just going to be honest, right? So, and that's like literally my mum and my dad. My mum was not affected. My dad, it was just like it was a laxative. And I don't think it really benefited his cognition. And he has Parkinson's disease, right? So, and there are ways, like you don't need MCT oil. There are things that you can do. You can optimize your health towards it's beyond wellness at this point, right? So, and that's my zone of genius. That's where I'm happiest. But in my previous wealth identity, let's say, I decided that my niche was going to be women with uterine fibroids. Now, women with uterine fibroids in the UK are broke. Unpopular opinion, but it's just a fact. Black women in the UK don't make a lot of money. So for me to try and build a business on the basis of helping Black women in the UK with uterine fibroids I'm realizing now the futility of it. But it's something that, on the one hand, I feel like it's almost like something I would do for pro bono. And as the rest of my business income streams flourish, it will be pro bono. So the ebook will be free. And also, I've just had really bad experiences with Black women in the UK who are from the UK, or even if they're not from the UK, if they've been in the UK long enough, it has messed them up. Like the trauma alone. And this is women from my home community, which is West African women of Sierra Leonean descent, right the way across. Like I have a Nigerian friend who, I don't know, I think she will be sectioned before, if she hasn't already been sectioned. I think it's coming. Like the mental health, the strain of the work that she has taken on, and she's a barrister in criminal law. We actually fell out. It's a whole thing. But yeah, so I find myself really connecting with women, Black women, from pretty much anywhere except the UK. So it is what it is. And I'm putting this on Instagram, which I've made public because I really... Instagram does not love me, and Instagram does not love nutritional therapy practitioners, especially those who go off the beaten track. So, I mean, my love affair with Meta is it stops at WhatsApp. I like WhatsApp. TikTok is fun for engagement, but YouTube is I will love YouTube forever. Sorry about that. I will love YouTube forever. So yeah, this is the thing about being in a tourist location off peak. It is wonderful. Like the views here are wonderful. And one of my income streams, if you want to know, is that I do reviews from the perspective of being a Black woman in spaces that we are not, spaces in which we can thrive, but spaces that, maybe are not documented by the travel bloggers, because I'm not a travel blogger. I'm a digital nomad. I stay put in one place for 90 days if I can. So I do month-long stays. And I've used mainly Airbnb and coliving.com. So all of that is coming up on this channel. So this is for This is long form content, but it's really for the travel, biohacking, digital nomad entrepreneurship brand, which is called Carefree Travels, by the way, if you're wondering. And so I don't usually give up my location in real time, but I'm about to move. I'm moving in like 3 days. Yeah, 3 days. So I've only got the rest of today, Thursday, and Friday, and then and then I'm off to my next destination. But yeah, this is it. It's just I mean, like the thing is, when you've been in the UK kind of paradigm for so long, it is very difficult to see the wood for the trees. You start believing the lies that it's the only place that you can thrive, and I think Black women in the US also, they hear that or feel that to an extent, but I don't think they believe it. That's the difference. Whereas when I literally have very few Black female friends left in the UK. I would say at this point I only have one, and she's of South African descent, and she knows what's up, right? So she knows because she has lived abroad, but not just because she's lived abroad. She's also never been an employee. So I think although she has had to work in corporate settings, she's always been a business owner and had control over her time, for better or for worse. And then it's a different vibration. It's a different paradigm when, your bread and butter isn't buttered by someone who wants you dead, or someone, well, maybe not wants you dead, but they definitely don't want you to rise above your station. And they certainly don't, they feel like they have given you a job, and therefore that you should be content. You should not want promotion. You should not want to. But here I'm speaking from my experience in a toxic, misogynistic, sexist, and racist industry, because I was an engineer in building services in the construction industry in the UK. I do not recommend it to anyone. I think if you're a Black woman, take your qualification and go to the continent, or go somewhere you will be remunerated adequately and respected. First and foremost, respected. So signing out for today.